Just like we expected, it's actually happening. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Monday. Today is June 16th, 6:09 p.m. here in Arizona. NASDAQ market closed 1.3%, 1.39% in the green, and it was all based off of a lie, right? I uploaded a video earlier today where, hey, there was a post that was shared that said, oh, a battered Iran signals it wants to de-escalate hostilities with Israel and negotiate. And it was all complete bullshit, right? It was all based off of the word of Trump stating that, oh, we want to encourage these two countries to de-escalate. Again, he said things before and they get escalated, and then he goes back on his word. This doesn't surprise me at all, as we've seen it many times before, right? We have to talk about the good and talk about the bad, right? It's all forms of negotiation. I don't care what your personal opinion is. I'm just here to share the news. This is from Donald Trump. Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. So again, now why would Trump encourage people to immediately evacuate this specific city in such a short period of time? Surprise, surprise. It's not going to be much of a surprise. And it's because things are not de-escalating. Things are actually about to get worse. At least that's what the market is now assuming. Based off of how the market has now reacted, all that it gained within the day based off of that lie, and again, we've stated it many times before, the markets are incredibly irrational. The markets have no business being at these levels. Markets are incredibly overbought, overinflated, and overpriced. Now, the markets wanted to be irrational and try to find any excuse on why to gap up. And in my opinion, now it's bound for them to pay the price, right? As things continue to escalate, as we've made it very clear, if things escalate, markets will drop. If things de-escalate or get better, then markets are bound to recover. But this is the part that's so annoying and frustrated about the market, is that you have people or news outlets trying to assume that things are de-escalating, or just because Trump earlier said, oh, we plan to de-escalate, and it's all based off of a lie, when all news was reporting was that Iran and Israel were still sending missiles to one another. I don't know what world you live in, but it's not rocket science, right? If a country is still sending missiles to another country and actively, not previously, actively attacking one another, that is not a de-escalation. It's not rocket science. But again, the markets are incredibly irrational, and now they are bound to pay the price. So I respect that a lot of people at these overbought levels decided to stay cash, because I do agree that markets can stay irrational longer than someone can stay solvent. But buying at these overinflated levels makes zero sense. So now that the markets are pulling on back, and again, in my opinion, these are the very early stages of a potential pullback, especially once it is confirmed that the US is going to get involved. And if that is the case, then get ready for a substantial pullback. On top of that, this Wednesday, we have an FOMC rate decision. This is where the Federal Reserve is going to decide if they're going to raise, pause, or cut interest rates. And again, it's not looking good for the market. Nothing about the stock market or nothing about our economy is actually looking good. According to this Fed rate monitor tool, there's a 98.3% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to pause, meaning not cut interest rates once again. The market is begging, Trump is begging that the Federal Reserve should cut interest rates. But guess what? If data doesn't support it, then the Fed will not do it. There's even a 1.7% probability that the Federal Reserve will actually raise interest rates. Now it's completely switched. And now, just to add to the mix, now we're seeing crude oil prices begin to rocket once again. So keep watching oil markets. President Trump told everyone to evacuate Tehran immediately, yet oil prices are up a mere 1.5% on the news. Oil markets will continue to price in a short-lived conflict. Ignore the noise and follow the money. So again, as things and tensions continue to rise, most likely crude oil prices will as well. If things begin to de-escalate, then markets or crude oils will most likely begin to drop as well. The thing that I also want to highlight is that supposedly Iran warns that it will strike the US, UK, and French military bases if it supports Israel in any attacks. If Iran were to do that, the US would flatten that entire country. Iran is insanely weak in comparison to the United States. And again, feel free to do your own due diligence and look into their military versus ours, right? It's not even a question that if they were dumb enough to actually strike the US, I mean, good riddance to all the people of Iran, and it would be very, very unfortunate to see what's to follow. I think we can all openly say that any war and any strikes are not something that we want to see. But again, a verbal attack is one thing. If they actually follow through with it and try to form any form of attack, it would be very sad for Iran and the Iranian people because, again, it's unfortunate that a very small military or militia is the one that's speaking so negatively about the U.S. when most Iranian people tend to be good, from what I've understood, right? It's the IRGC that tends to be more violent, and yet, they only represent such a small part of Iran. But again, that's just how things are unfortunately ran over there. So I'll just make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. So as I continue to learn more, I'll post more here on YouTube, but also I am also posting updates on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me there, it is linked in the description down below. So again, markets are dropping in response to what Trump has just sent. So get ready for markets to open on Tuesday, and we'll see things. We'll see how things continue to develop. It should be an interesting live trading session, and if you want to tune on in tomorrow, you do not have to. But if you want to watch me trade live, every trade, every entry, every exit, you'll be able to watch it live in real time. The second link in the description down below, and it's designed for complete beginners. So if you're wanting to get started, I encourage you to check it out. Second link down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.